Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
Now at 6:30, proof fireworks can be a danger even when you think they're out. How they may have started two different house fires and what you can do to get results and protect your family. Good evening. This is News 6 at 666. Okay. Start that over. This is News 6 at 6:30. Getting results. I did not just have a stroke. Thanks for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Justin Warmoth. Ginger's off tonight. Also, all too often, illegal street racing causes danger and damage on our streets and neighborhoods. But soon, racers are going to have a place to burn rubber in a safe way. We're going to take you out to Leadfoot City that's under construction not far away in our top trending stories. Also trending, getting results for a very young, very sick coyote. How she was found at a local police station and what's being done to turn around her fate. But we start now at 6:30 tonight with an update on the search for answers in the death of a 13-year-old girl. Detectives are urging anyone with information to come forward on this. That girl was found with, quote, obvious signs of trauma along the 4400 block of South Rio Grande Avenue yesterday. She later died at the hospital. News 6's Troy Campbell is pressing for more details.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office is using the word tirelessly to describe the way detectives inside of their headquarters are working to locate whoever killed the 13-year-old girl. The Orange County Sheriff's Office is being very tight-lipped about the case, but so far what they tell us is that yesterday at about 2:30 p.m., investigators responded to an apartment complex on the 4400 block of South Rio Grande. When they arrived, they say they found 13-year-old Rose DeJus suffering from obvious signs of trauma. They transported her to the hospital where they say she died. At this point, they say they still haven't made any arrests in the case, and they are urging anyone with information to call Crime Line. In Orange County, Troy Campbell, Getting Results, News 6.
Also developing tonight in the same part of Orange County, families were forced to flee a burning apartment building. And so far, Orange County Fire Rescue has not been able to tell us how it started. Those apartments are on Casa del Rey Circle. That's off Oak Ridge Road and John Young Parkway, about 2.5 miles south of the mall at Millennia. A News 6 photojournalist spoke to a woman who says her apartment was among those that burned.
We was inside. I was about to take a baby a shower, and then she screamed fire. When by the time we even looked, already like the whole back porch got burned. So we went outside and we seen 5 little boys sitting right there. It all happened so fast. Everything got burned, which is the saddest part. We got no clue. Life is already hard. I don't even know what's the next step. Like, where do we even start? This all just happened so fast, and it's so unfair. It's so unfair.
Firefighters say no one was hurt. We also know the Red Cross is on scene helping those impacted. We'll bring you updates on clickorlando.com and on News 6 at 11. Another big story at this hour, storm striking parts of central Florida, especially for folks living along I-75. So let's get right over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas.
Yeah, some rocking thunderstorms, especially in Polk County. We're going to watch this kind of expand over the next hour or so. You see where the rocking storms are in parts of Marion County, just south of Gainesville. We have some downpours in and around Ocala right now. Sumter County, we're mainly dry with just a few stray showers. Some of those storms we were pinpointing earlier fizzling out. But you see where the crazy lightning is, right around the Lakeland area, extending into extreme southern Sumter County. We will watch that gradually fill in over the next couple of hours. Wanted to show you that right here. There's 7 o'clock, about a half hour from now, and Future Radar doing a very, very nice job showing us where that kind of line splits, if you will, and we see more eruption of those thunderstorms. So if you're heading west tonight, that's where we're looking out. Notice, though, along the East Coast, right along the beaches, if you're spending the 4th of July there, the rest of the evening, at least 4th of July weekend or into the weekend, things are looking pretty nice at the beach. Just watch out for that rip current risk. We're going to pinpoint all of this further coming up in a couple of minutes, Justin.
Thank you, Jonathan. Speaking of, if you are hitting the beach, any beach along our coast, beware of those rip currents. Brevard County rescued 58 people in the past 2 days. Volusia, 180 people were rescued yesterday alone. News 6's Laverne McGee is out with beach safety.
The weather's been perfect for a day out at the beach, but of course you also need to make sure of the dangers so you and your family can be safe.
I've already seen them in action, blowing their whistles, running out, telling people what to do.
Mark Weber and his friends say they're happy to see all the lifeguards out on Daytona Beach today. The water looks beautiful, but it's also deadly. There's a rip current warning in effect here all weekend. On Wednesday, a man from out of town died around 2 o'clock in the afternoon when he couldn't escape a riptide.
43-year-old male from West Virginia, and he was out there swimming in an unguarded area, and
So your lifeguards couldn't get to him?
right. He was in an unguarded area when a surfer responded, and we responded to the scene and tried to assist him in, but unfortunately he didn't. He was later died at the hospital.
So I guess that's making you extra on alert then.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you rescue 287 people in a 2-day period, we're definitely on high alert.
One of the most important things you can do when you get to the beach is check out where the lifeguard is.
Can you actually see a rip current?
You can if you know what you're looking for. A lot of times you see these waves coming, and when you see an area where a wave is breaking and then right next to it, the wave is not breaking and it looks kind of foamy, that's usually probably an indication that a rip current is there. See this area right here that's pretty foamy? That's a pretty good rip current here.
That's a rip current there?
Yeah.
In Daytona Beach, Laverne McGee, Getting Results, News 6.
One of the two people at the center of a deputy-involved shooting is now in jail. This happened Wednesday in Brevard County in Palm Shores, a small town along US 1 right near Pineda Causeway. Deputies say a man and a woman ran into the woods to get away after a car burglary. They say when the woman flashed a gun, a deputy shot her. Since then, we have been waiting for the sheriff's office to tell us who those people were. So today, when News 6's James Barbero saw a man was facing a judge on matching charges, he went to court.
This is the first time that the sheriff's office has identified either of the two people they say were there in Palm Shores Wednesday. Tim Frayne is walking into this courtroom in the county jail on his 37th birthday.
The first case that's being called is Timothy Frayne. Mr. Frayne, if you'd please approach the microphone. The charges before the court are burglary of a conveyance and a petty theft, aggravated assault of a Leo with a weapon or firearm.
At the scene, Sheriff Wayne Ivey said a woman who was with Frayne had a gun. The sheriff said deputies came to US 1 near the Jimmy Hula's restaurant to stop a car burglary. That's when the sheriff says the two people ran from deputies and hid in the woods. He said the woman was showing that gun, so a deputy shot her. Frayne, on the other hand, was not hurt. If you look at his court records with me here, you see there's a 6-page arrest affidavit we can't open yet. When that's ready, it should tell us more about what happened and his involvement.
You're not to have any contact with the co-defendant. You're not to possess any firearms or any ammunition.
At the jail, Judge Tisha Ballou also said Frayne violated his probation. I found he was just convicted in May of having fentanyl. The woman who was shot is still in the hospital. The sheriff's office hasn't released her name publicly either, but we'll learn it once she's transferred here. Frayne is staying in jail without bond. In Brevard County, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results, News 6.
Tonight, fireworks are blamed for damaging at least 2 homes in Seminole County. The largest in Aliquot Lakes set fire to a 6,000 square foot home overnight. The latest in Maitland when homeowners put used fireworks into a trash can. With a full holiday weekend ahead, we know many of you plan to set off fireworks of your own. If you do, make sure you get rid of them the right way. News 6's Catherine Silver shows us how.
I think we have fire in the house.
911 calls directed firefighters in Seminole County here to Aliquot Lakes overnight, where they found a 6,000 square foot home on fire.
We had fireworks today, and I thought everything was fine.
All of this damage because fire officials say there were used fireworks in the garage. Lieutenant Dave Williams, you've been doing this for a long time. You give advice every year, and it happens every year. Seminole County's fire department was called out 4 times on the 4th. Look at the damage to this attic in Maitland.
One of the fires that we had yesterday in Oviedo that we assisted Oviedo with were fireworks that were set off to the side of the house. It caught the mulch on fire, went to the fence, and it melted and caught the house on fire.
Once you're done with the fun, what's the first thing you should do?
So first, while you're having the fun, if you light a firework and it doesn't go off, please don't go up and try and reignite it. And once you're done with those fireworks, let them cool off for 5 or 10 minutes. Grab that firework, put it in a bucket full of water, and let it sit out at the end of your street.
We can tell you, and we can show you. So from the Fire Training Center, we headed out into the community. Our first stop to get some supplies. Got our bucket. We got our fireworks. The fire department says once you're done with these, you never want to just toss them into a trash bag or bin. Instead, once your sparkler goes out, wait about 10 to 15 minutes. Then you have your bucket of water. Go ahead and drop it in. Make sure you place this on the concrete somewhere away from your house and just let it sit.
Let them sit overnight. Go to sleep, make sure it's away from the structure. When you wake up in the morning, drain the water out, and then go ahead and leave it curbside.
Firefighters say a fun 4th is also a safe one, no matter what plans you have this weekend. And you can always just go to a public display and leave the fireworks to the professionals. There will be a show on Saturday here at the Oviedo Mall. It starts at 9 o'clock. In Seminole County, I'm Catherine Silver, getting results, News 6.
All right, thank you, Catherine. We're going to have more on that, too. Oviedo celebration set for tomorrow night at the Oviedo Mall. And as we take a live look from the Launch Credit Union Port Cam, I can tell you a July 5th celebration is underway at Exploration Tower, around the corner, pointed the other way. It's hosted by the Cove Merchants Association and the Port with fireworks after dark. So if you're going, watch the signs carefully so you don't get yourself towed. And that leads us to tonight's question of the day. When should your neighbors quit firing off their own 4th of July fireworks? You can weigh in at clickorlando.com/react right now. Pick from the 4th, 2 days later, a week later, or never. Let freedom ring. A few dozen folks voted so far. Again, you can make your voice heard at clickorlando.com/react, and you can see overwhelmingly, don't shoot them off today, tomorrow, or ever. It should be the 4th, and then a 10 p.m. cutoff as well. I'm getting old. Yelling at a cloud. That'll link you to the poll as well if you scan that QR code at the top left of your screen. So if you just don't do it, especially if you live next to me. It's just so tired of it. News 6 was proud to bring you last night's fireworks at the fountain live from Lake Eola Park. Last night on air and online, you can watch the entire dazzling show by the professionals again here on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com. And our website is also marking a big milestone for News 6. It's one of our top trending stories as well tonight. Our station signed on 70 years ago this week, July 1st, 1954 at 7:55 in the morning. We were known as WDBO TV then, sister station at WDBO Radio, and the first TV station in Central Florida. News 6 anchor and insider guide Crystal Moyer has put together an interactive timeline of our station's history that includes a look at the very first page of the very first news script, photos of our first studio under construction as well, all the way up to yesterday's WKMG Hits the Road broadcast from downtown Orlando. We now bring you more than 44 hours of news programming each week. And you'll find Crystal's timeline on the homepage of clickorlando.com. Our second top trending story, a safe place for drivers with a need for speed. The headline, this Florida city is trying to bring in street racers. Here's what it looks like. All right, so this is called Leadfoot City. It's under construction already. It's set to open later this year in Brooksville, about 90 minutes west of Orlando. The owners are planning a burnout pit, an autocross arena, and an amphitheater for concerts. At the heart, its racing strip will have traditional trees, that's slang for those lights used to signal racers when to start. The park is also building out actual streets and street lights to simulate pulling up to another driver in the real world. So you can get your fix there for sure. Catch the full story from the digital team on the homepage of clickorlando.com. Our final top trending story will make animal lovers say ah. The headline, Coyote Pup found nearly dead at Titusville Police Department. The good news, Wild Florida Rescue is nursing that pup back to health. So its team members posted a heartwarming update about their work on Facebook just a couple of days ago. When she was brought in, they feared she might not make it through the night. The Coyote Pup was, quote, very skinny, full of ticks, quite weak and sick. But thanks to round-the-clock care, IV fluids, and lots of love, she is doing much better, though she is not out of the woods just yet. Wild Florida Rescue says if all goes well, she will join 3 other coyote pups and will eventually be released on private land. Learn more about the coyote's care on the homepage of clickorlando.com. People are sharing their prayers on Facebook for a deputy on the mend after being run down by a driver.
I need EMS 1018. I need EMS 1018. My leg's broken.
Hillsborough County Sheriff says this was no accident. They say a BMW hit him on purpose. Up next, what led up to that collision and how he's doing tonight. Also,
This year is probably SALT's tightest year because now this is the year we get $600,000 less funding.
A local nonprofit suspending services that help the homeless, why they're struggling, and what they're doing to keep running. Jonathan.
Few storms out there tonight. This is well to the west of Orlando, certainly along the coast tonight. We are going to be on the drier side, just watching this line fill in for us in the evening. We're pinpointing where that's headed and taking a look at your weekend coming up.
And Mexico is seeing heavy rains and damage after Beryl made its second landfall as a Cat 2 hurricane. The damage and what it could mean for its next stop, Texas. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Oviedo, Gotha, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Now at 6:30, an update on a story going viral. A deputy run down, apparently on purpose, as he tried to make a traffic stop. It happened on the other side of the I-4 corridor in Hillsborough County. That is the official sheriff's office photo of Deputy Kaylin Hall right here. Now the good news, just a short time ago, his sheriff posted an update saying he is out of surgery. He is in good spirits as well. Deputy Hall's own cameras captured how this all went down, along with his call for help. And we do want to warn you, this video may be tough to watch. So here it is. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says the 33-year-old deputy first tried to pull over the BMW shortly after midnight, but the driver sped off. About 20 minutes later, Deputy Hall went to stop that BMW again. That's when the sheriff says the deputy was intentionally hit.
I need EMS 1018. I need EMS 1018. My leg's broken.
Deputies found that car abandoned about a mile from the second stop. They later identified the owner of the BMW and believe he was behind the wheel, but no arrests have been made just yet. The sheriff released a statement saying, quote, "Seeing this suspect show absolutely no regard for the life of our deputy, deliberately hitting him with his car is terrifying." Here's one more look at the photo just released this afternoon after surgeons inserted a rod in the deputy's leg today. His other ankle also fractured, but they say Deputy Hall remains in good spirits. They're thanking Facebook users for sending prayers and messages to cheer him up. Tonight, a local homeless outreach program is temporarily suspending several services they offered to help the homeless community in Orlando. They're concerned if they don't get support soon, they'll have to move to a new location. News 6 reporter Jarrell Baker tells us more.
Laundry, showers, and mail.
This is our mail service right here. So each of these envelopes has a name on it. So we're doing mail for a little over 400 people right now.
These are some of the services SALT Outreach in downtown Orlando will have to suspend or scale back on.
This year is probably SALT's tightest year because now this is the year we get $600,000 less funding.
Leaving many experiencing homelessness in the area with less resources they need to survive.
Is there anywhere else that you can kind of go for those type of services?
It's pretty difficult to find services like this because a lot of the services are places that unfortunately need money for.
We're seeing over 100 people a day, 5 days a week at this location.
Eric Camarillo with SALT Outreach says the homeless population in Orlando has doubled year over year since they started operating at the Christian Service Center in downtown Orlando in 2020. They received COVID funding from the government, which helped them keep up with the demand. Unfortunately, it's no longer available, leaving them with a $600,000 deficit.
We're not on par with meeting fundraising goals right now, so we launched this Summer SALT fundraiser, is what we call it, from July through September. And so, to raise $200,000.
Eric says they were also promised a six-figure donation from an organization who they don't want to reveal. However, that payment is delayed. If they don't raise the money, they'll have to move out of downtown.
We know that a drop-in center is going to be open here. We're just going to have to go wherever to other locations if we can't get reopened here.
Eric says they're suspending buying hygiene products, new clothes, and other services for right now. They're hoping the community can help them achieve their $200,000 goal to continue operating throughout the year. In Orlando, Jarrell Baker, Getting Results, News 6.
We're still tracking Tropical Storm Beryl as it loses strength after making its second landfall early this morning in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. It hit some of that area's top tourist destinations as a powerful Category 2 hurricane. And then it had 110-mile-an-hour winds. Now, as of 5 p.m., and that update that just came down at 5 p.m., it dropped to 65 miles an hour, but it still has its sights set on Texas. Now, when Beryl passed over the Caribbean earlier this week, it was briefly a Cat 5, the earliest that has happened in the Atlantic on record. Jamaica dodged a direct hit, but the damage on the southern coast stretches for miles. All right, so Beryl heading north toward Texas now and the United States. The National Hurricane Center is forecasting the storm to make landfall in South Texas early Monday morning. And for more on Beryl and your forecast here in Central Florida, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us now. So when it goes towards Texas, is it expected to re-intensify? What are we looking at as far as winds and things like that?
It is, yeah, and it could be a situation where we see it rapidly intensify again into Texas. I think we're going to notice over the weekend the cone nudge a little bit further to the north and the intensity forecast start to go back up again. There's a couple of reasons for that. We're going to take a look at that coming up in just 1 second. If you do have plans outside tonight, most of us are going to be on the drier side with the exception of us right along the I-75 corridor. Have you guys zoomed in? We have a couple of showers around Ocala, a few lightning strikes just to the west of town right now. Denellen, we're going to start to get wet very, very soon. Same for us into the villages. We're going to watch the rain chances increase or the rain coverage increase for us. Bushnell into Nobleton, our rain is going to go up as well over the next couple of hours before we watch this eventually fizzle out. Here's a live look for us in downtown Orlando. All is quiet. We are nice and dry along the beaches at I-95 tonight. That's a live look with our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Skycam this evening with temperatures back to the lower 90s. The breeze out of the east at about 14 miles an hour. Temperature-wise in Sanford, good evening. We're at 88. 88 for us in DeLand. We're in the upper 80s in Deltona and Orange City. Good evening in New Smyrna Beach. We're back to the upper 80s as well. 90 for us in Kissimmee, back to Point Siena as well. A steamy night. For that, here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Temperatures getting back to the upper 70s. Again, a lot of us did not see the rain today. Most of it's going to be to the west of Orlando. Again, those clouds that are out there will slowly erode. And again, that's mainly to the west. Getting into the weekend, same kind of rainfall pattern coming on the pipeline. So the closer to the beaches you are, the drier you are going to be. The further west of the Atlantic beaches you are and closer to I-4 and especially I-75, that's going to be your highest opportunity for rain, with temperatures getting back into the mid to upper 90s. Here is the latest on Beryl. So the deal with this is, look at the circulation here. It is beat up. Of course, we have some wind shear and no doubt the land interaction playing a role in that. It's right about here, ready to eject off of the Yucatan Peninsula. That is very far north. Some of the expectations were that it would come off down here. So one of the things that we are going to watch is it's not only getting into water earlier again, but the further north it goes, the better opportunity and longer opportunity it has to stay over water, and a stronger storm would get it to be on the far right side of the cone. So again, current forecast from the Hurricane Center does have this making landfall somewhere around the Corpus Christi to maybe up to Galveston area as a Category 1 hurricane with 90-mile-per-hour winds. But if it stays on the right side of that track, there's going to be an opportunity for this to unfortunately intensify further. So something we're watching for our friends in Texas and maybe even as far to the north and east as southwest Louisiana. Beryl's not coming here, though. 96 degrees tomorrow and on Sunday. Rain chances at about 60% both days. We're keeping things in that summertime pattern with those clashing sea breezes and storm chances at about 60%, Justin.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, he was the first star of the first ever true summer blockbuster movie, and soon Bruce the Shark could be coming to your home. But you'll have to do a lot of the work, brick by plastic brick. Ahead, how a fan helped create this tribute to the movie Jaws in time for its 50th birthday. Stay with us. We're back in 2 minutes.
Coming up Monday, another local city turns to technology to try and stop school zone speeding.
The latest city set to sign off on adding special cameras to get results and when the first fines could be handed out.
And your pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you Monday for News 6 Mornings, 5 to 7.
All right, so Jaws is considered the first summer blockbuster, hitting theaters back in 1975. And ahead of the movie's 50th anniversary next year, LEGO is releasing a nearly 1,500-piece set designed by a fan. It features the main characters of the movie, including Police Chief Brody, marine biologist Matt Hooper, and sailor Sam Quint. It also includes that iconic orca boat, along with the massive great white shark. You gotta have the shark. To mark the occasion, LEGO released a mini movie made from the new set. It'll be available August 6th for about $150. Not
a
bad.
lot of money.
That movie's awesome.
It is.
One
Great
of my
movie,
favorites.
for sure.